And the Oscar goes to...
From its premiere in late November 1946 to today, The Best Years of Our Lives, the second and last Best Picture win for RKO Radio Pictures, has been hailed as one of the best films ever made. It received fabulous reviews and had great box office returns. Adjusting for inflation, it is among the top 100 highest grossing films in U.S. history. Critics and audiences have continued to embrace the movie for its accurate and heartbreaking look at the lives of returning soldiers. So that's why it pains me to say I thought it was okay. I was really looking forward to this one too. I knew of its great reputation, and I loved the last movie its director William Wyler won an Oscar for, Mrs. Miniver. Wyler received his second Oscar for The Best Years of Our Lives, as did actor Frederick March, his previous win being for the 1931 Paramount version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The film also saw wins for its editing, score, and screenplay. But perhaps its most notable wins were for one of its supporting players, Harold Russell, a former soldier and actual amputee who lost his hands during a training exercise in 1944. Wyler discovered him after seeing Russell in a documentary about recovering veterans called Diary of a Sergeant. The part of a veteran with PTSD was rewritten as a man who lost his hands in the war to accommodate Russell's casting. Russell is one of only 2 non-professional actors to receive an Academy Award, the other being Cambodian actor Heng S. Noor for the 1984 British film The Killing Fields. Not only did he win Best Supporting Actor, but earlier that evening, the Academy Board of Governors, doubtful he would win Best Supporting, betrothed him with an honorary award for bringing hope and courage to his fellow veterans. To date, he is the only actor to receive 2 Academy Awards for the same performance. Based on a 1945 novella called Glory for Me, which its author McKinley Cantor wrote in blank verse, The Best Years of Our Lives follows 3 returning World War II veterans as they try to adjust to life back in their small Ohio town.
Remember what it felt like when you went overseas? As well as I remember my own name. I feel the same way now. Only more so. I know what you mean. Just nervous out of the service, I guess. The thing that scares me most is that everybody's gonna try to rehabilitate me. All I want's a good job, a mild future, and a little house big enough for me and my wife. Give me that much and I'm rehabilitated like that. Well, I'd say that's not too much to ask.
Fred Derry, played by Donna Andrews, is a decorated Air Force officer and bombardier who's struggling to find a job in the tight post-war marketplace. He reluctantly goes back to work at a local drugstore at which he had been a soda jerk before the war, which rakes in a measly sum that his wife Marie, played by Virginia Mayo, finds unsuitable compared to the lavish life she enjoyed during the war with Fred's soldier earnings. The two slowly grow apart while Fred suffers from PTSD brought on by his horrific wartime exploits. Al Stevenson, played by Frederick March, a platoon sergeant in the Pacific, is reconnecting with his wife, played by Myrna Loy, and his 2 kids, a son and a daughter, the latter played by Teresa White. Al is drinking too much, but still goes back to his job as a bank loan officer. His daughter, in the meantime, is busy forming a romantic relationship with Fred. Homer Parrish, played by Harold Russell, who lost his hands after suffering severe burns when his aircraft carrier sunk, is reluctant to go through with his marriage to his fiancée. His family and friends are treating him differently because of his physical loss, and he sees the loss of his hands as a detriment that he doesn't want to force on his fiancée. It's very hard for me to understand what didn't work for me, so let's start with what did. William Wyler, as in Mrs. Miniver, continues to understand people, what drives them, what tortures them, what inspires them, and what heals them. He shows us all this in a frank and realistic way. He's also the king of understatement, preferring to keep things subtle. It's strange that by doing so, the images and situations often have greater impact than if he went bigger. Like when he almost offhandedly, no pun intended, reveals that Homer has no hands. Wanting everything to be real, Wyler had the actors buy their clothes off the rack to make sure the film wasn't glamorous, and he had scenes play out naturally like they would in real life. Add to that the genuineness of Russell's performance, surprisingly good for someone who had never acted before in his life, and there's an air of familiarity. Even if you've never served in the military or known someone who has, you feel connected to these people because the day-to-day routines of their lives are so alike to your own. I have to admire Wyler for being so truthful in his direction, especially when it comes to scenes involving Fred's PTSD and Homer's struggles with no hands. The focus on Fred's psychological problems are particularly notable when you consider the film came out during a time when PTSD wasn't widely considered as the serious ailment it is today.
Gudowski, get out of that plane! Shoot yourself. Free? Come on, the rest of you guys.
Fred.
Come on, get out!
Fred, wake up.
Gadowski!
Wake up.
Gadowski!
Wake up.
She's burning up! Get out!
Fred.
Get out!
Fred, wake up. Wake up.
She's burning up! She's gonna hit! Look out!
It's all right, Fred. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, Fred. There's nothing to be afraid of. All you have to do is go to sleep. And rest.
Homer's story is the most interesting, and the one I got the most emotionally involved in. Russell is so natural and enduring as an actor. Homer's doubts and fears after his accident are refreshingly honest and sad.
I'll be all right. I just gotta work it out myself.
I could help you, Homer, if you'd let me.
I've gotta work it out myself. All I've wanted is for people to treat me like anybody else instead of pitying me. I guess it's hard for them to do that. I've just gotta learn to get used to it and pay no attention.
Couldn't I?
No, I've gotta do it myself.
The only downside is Homer is the one least focused on out of the three. The film loses itself somewhere in the middle. I couldn't tell you what exactly goes wrong, but it lost its focus until the last act. Somehow it became less about what the war did to these men and how different the America was that they returned to, and became too much about their daily lives. I know that's what the film is about, their new lives after coming home, but there was just something missing that made me feel like the film wasn't talking about what it started with and later finished with. Maybe it has something to do with the naturalness of scenes. Maybe scenes played out too mundanely and too slowly to keep me engaged. Or maybe it was something else entirely. All I know is the film didn't have the same punch for me as Mrs. Miniver, which truly left an impact and gave me a new perspective on war I had never considered. The Best Years of Our Lives is certainly powerful in its emotional resonance, certainly truthful, certainly important, certainly good, and certainly deserving of accolades and praise. Something didn't click for me, but who knows? I may watch this again one day and see something I didn't this time around. Until then, I'll remain in the minority who see this movie as just good and not great.